Greetings students. Today we'll be looking at Microsoft Word. Now Microsoft Word, which is a part of the Microsoft Office package, allows you to type letters, reports, any document involving words or pictures, graphics, so on and so forth. Now there are some features in there, some basic features that we're going to go through just to prepare you for your upcoming exams. Now of course, to those of you who are familiar with the software, I know you know how to use all of it already. However, you might just learn something new, or I might just remind you of something. So please listen, pay attention. Okay, let's go. So we have our layout. This is our page where we will type whatever we want to type, or add picture or graphics or whatever to it. We have the file button here. It's similar to the 2016 version. It's just that this one is circular. We'll do a comparison in a minute. Then we have the save button. Use to save your document. Please save as you work. A lot of students forward. Sir, my SBA not opening. Sir, this happened to my project and blah blah blah. Please save as you do your work. Continuously save. Even though there's an autosave feature, you never know. It might just start up back after JPS Tech with Empower. It might just start up back, and then you find out that you lost half of the work. You have to start all over again. So please save. So this is the undo button. We haven't done anything, so we can't undo yet. This is the redo button. Here's our home tab. Here's our insert tab, page layout tab, references tab, mailings tab, review and view. Should also be familiar with the minimize button already, the restore button, and the close. This one's also called maximize. This is the home tab, insert tab, page layout tab, references tab, mailings, review and view. We'll be going through some of these in subsequent videos. Here we have the font type, where we're allowed to highlight the text and then click on the various type of fonts. You have many to choose from. Here we have the font size, where we can change the size of the font. We have our bullets, which allows us to emphasize a list. We have our numbers that number our lists. We have the bold button, the italics button, the underline button, and please notice that as you put the mouse pointer over each button is a caption that pops up which tells you the name of the button and the shortcut for it. This is the subscript. This is the superscript. This is the color highlighter. This is the font color. You can change the font color by picking from various colors. If you are not liking the given colors, you can go and add more colors and use them accordingly. We also have the left align button, the center, the right align button, the justify, as well as the shading. Shading is similar to the highlighting. The color highlighter is similar but slightly different. Then we have the table and border lines, which we can add or take away borders according to our needs. Alright, now there are other buttons in there, but we won't be focusing on those. I will point out to you though that we have a zoom button that we can use to zoom in or zoom out of the document so we can see 2 or more pages. And we have other buttons that can change the format of how we look at the document. When you click on them, you can see the various types and see how it unfolds when you click on it. Alright, so you can go through it and click on them and see yourself and see for yourself. Alright, so let's go. So the first one we want to focus on is, where do we save? Let's now compare Office 07 with Office 2016. Now both of them are very similar, and Office 2016 is similar to Office 2010. It's basically the same thing. Only difference is there might be an extra tab and the file buttons may look different. So here they have the word file, but in 07 they have the circle, but both of them do the same thing. Still have the save button, still have the undo, redo, same thing is there. Still have this paste clipboard thing there. Still have font style, font type. Still have font number, bullet, numbered for numbered list. We have bold, italics, underline, and basically all the buttons are there. It's basically the same thing. Nothing has really changed. It's like the new cars that they make. It's the same engine but a different shell. Now older businesses might still be using 2010 and 07, but newer organizations would be using 2016. You can still get 2010 and 07 software to buy. It's just that the newer ones come with newer features that the old ones do not offer, but it's basically the same thing. Alright, let's go. So I will be focusing on Office 07 for my demonstration. First things first, let's change the font size to a bigger font to ensure that everyone can see the screen. Let's type a title. Okay, now we have to do what's called highlighting. To highlight, you hold the mouse, hold down the left mouse button, drag it across the text, then you can do whatever kind of highlighting that you want. Now this highlight is not the same as that highlight right there. This is a color highlighter. Once you click on any blank space, this highlight will come off. When you highlight with this highlighter, it will not come off, it will stay there. The highlight is mostly used for emphasis. When you want to emphasize a heading of some type, you will use the color highlighter. So let's start with the basics. So we have the bold, okay, so let's compare now the bold text to the regular text. As you can see, the bold text is more brighter, it's more enhanced, while the regular text is kind of flat. So we use the bold text to actually use use the bold text for headings or for emphasis. So I can highlight my heading. I can go to the center button and press center. If I don't like it at the center, I can use the undo button, or if I change my mind again, I can press the redo button. Of course, you know there are shortcuts for each of these. So undo will be Control Z, which is listed in the caption there, and redo will be Control Y. Okay. Now we can also underline words. We can underline paragraphs, sentences. Can underline the whole document if you need. We can underline the whole document if needed. So let's underline farm rooms. First, I drag the mouse pointer across what I want to underline, then I press underline. Now as you can see, it makes it look bold, it makes it look underlined, so it emphasizes it. What about the italics button? I can highlight these. First you have to highlight something if you want to change it, and I can press italics, and that's how it looks. If I choose, I can take off the italics by pressing Ctrl Y or pressing undo, or I can just highlight it and then going back to italics and press italics again. It's up to you how you want your document to look. It depends on your creativity or the needs of your organization or your company. Let's use up some bullets. So I highlight my text first. Remember, you have to highlight before you do anything. I click on the arrow beside the bullet button. Clicking on the bullet button would put the last bullet that you used. So I recommend that you use the arrow just in case. And notice it gives you a preview of how it's going to look. So we can use circular bullets, circle bullets, squares, whatever that is. Them looking something there, and some ticky business. Alright, so it's up to you how you want your document to look. And if you need space, press enter to give yourself more space. Nothing is wrong with that. Alright, suppose you say now that you don't like these bullets, you prefer numbers. You highlight again, you click on the arrow. Remember, pressing the number button or the bullet button will give you the last one used. So I press on the arrow so I can choose which one I want to use. So here's my sampling. I can use Roman numerals, I can use common letters, I can use capital letters, I can use number brackets, I can use regular numbers. Let's use number brackets, and that's how it looks. Okay, let's say now we wanted to highlight something. So let's say that I highlight sapphire and I'm going to put a color highlighter on it. Notice that it gives you the preview so you can choose which one you want. And that's it. Just clicking in the white space and there you go. You've just color highlighted some font. Okay, let's go again. Suppose we wanted to place form rooms in the center, just like Bustamante High School, or we could right align it. Depends on what you want. Could left align it as well. Center it, left align. Alright, let's check out the shading now. Let's see what the shading does. I click on the arrow beside just to make it, so the shading is different. Notice that the shading, it highlights the entire row and not just the one word. So please bear in mind when you're using it. What else can we do now? Let us look at font style. I no longer like this font style. I want to change the font style. Monotype Corvisa. I can also change the font size to make it bigger if I want. Let us change some font colors. Instead of having the heading be black, why not change the font color to a more exciting color, such as red? Or, in true Bustamante form, purple. There we go. That looks more natural now. So, let's review. What have we learned so far? We've learned how to type in some text. We've learned how to bold text. We learned how to change the font size, change the font face or font style. We've learned how to underline. We learned how to italicize. We learned how to number or bold. We learned how to highlight. We learned how to use the shading. We learned how to center, left align and right align text. There's also a justify there, but the justify is mainly used for paragraphs when you want your paragraph to seem or appear square. That's when you use the justify. I'll demonstrate it in a second. Alright, so those are the things we've done. Let us now look at script and subscript. So to do this, I'm going to create a new document. And to create a new document, we go up to the file button, or in this case the office button. We'll click on new, check blank document, click create, and there's our blank document. Alright, I'm going to first adjust my font size so everybody can see it, some people blind like me, and then I'm going to type in something most of you may not like, but it's mathematics. Look at that, it's mathematics. So let's say that let's use 3 is easier. Let's say that we wanted to type what's called an index. What would the index be? Everybody remember the index? The index is the power, right, on any number. So we type it, we highlight, we click our index button, and the 2 is now what? An index number. So that's 3 to the 2. Now after you change it to an index, it sometimes will continue to type in the index line. So to get it out of the index line, you need to press back the index button, and there it goes back to your regular number. So now we can write the answer. 3 squared is equal to 9. Right? Now let's say you change your mind and you didn't want to bother making this an index number. Just highlight it, press back the index button, and it goes back to being a regular 2. So it depends on what you want to do. Let's look at subscript now. Now, still in mathematics, and this doesn't only apply to mathematics, by the way. Sometimes you type some documents and you want to create like some kind of annotation or some kind of notation in the document. You can put an asterisk in the subscript or in the superscript, and then put your explanation down below at the end of the document. So let's go. For those of you who know about bases, you know that 101 is not 101 if we put a small 2 down at the foot of it. Oops, sorry. Down at the foot of it. So this small 2 down here is telling you that this 101 is a base 2 number. This is not 101. So if you're dealing with computer science, you know that base 2, aka also known as binary, is the computer language. All the computer understands is 1s and 0s. So if we're writing base 2 numbers, we know we'd use the subscript to put this small little 2 down there. Now some people write the number 2, but I was taught that if 2 doesn't exist in base 2, how come you write in 2? So I always write the word 2. Okay, so here we have 2 paragraphs and a heading. Let's edit out the paragraph now. So like I said before, we can zoom up so that we can better see our text, or we can zoom out if it's too close. It's all about what you want to do. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to highlight the first paragraph. I can underline it. Notice I highlighted everything, and that's what it looks like underline. I can highlight the middle sentence, press back the underline button, take off that underline. Or I can highlight all of the second paragraph. I can make it bold. I can center all of the paragraph. That's what it looks like, center. I can right align it, left align it, and this is what's called justify. When you justify it, you make all the letters on left and the right line up, instead of making it look like this where it's all over the place. You can make them line up like that. I've never really used this feature, but it's there. You can use it if you want. Okay, and that's basically it for the home tab. Now please go ahead and experiment. Try various things, try to use them. This way it becomes a part of you. It's something that's going to follow you all through your life. Even if you don't use it, your children will use it. So make sure you know and understand how to use the home tab in Microsoft Word and all of its features.